Leonardo DiCaprio decided to throw a grand party to celebrate the completion of filming for his new blockbuster at a luxurious mansion on the Malibu coast. It had to be something epic, a private villa, an outdoor terrace overlooking the ocean, a famous bartender with the best cocktails and, of course, guests who could outshine any red carpet. Only a select few were invited: Timothée Chalamet, Margot Robbie, Kendall Jenner, Jared Leto, Billie Eilish, and even Elon Musk, who arrived with a mysterious futuristic gadget in his hands and promised everyone a revolution in the world of parties. By midnight, the atmosphere was perfect. The pool was lit with neon lights, champagne was flowing non-stop, and Margot Robbie and Jennifer Lawrence were so excited that they danced on a marble table. But everyone knew that DiCaprio's parties were never without surprises. And this time fate had prepared real chaos. The first signs that the party was not going according to plan appeared when Jared Leto decided to arrange a spiritual ritual and light an exotic hookah right on the Versace sofa. "It's not just smoke, it's energy purification," he said mysteriously, taking a deep drag. At that moment, Elon Musk, holding his mysterious device in his hands, declared that he was going to change the rules of the game and activated some function. Suddenly, speakers located throughout the terrace began to emit strange electronic sounds, and laser light blinded the guests. "What is this, anyway?" Kendall Jenner shouted, closing her eyes. And while everyone was trying to understand what was happening, Jared Leto unsuccessfully reached for a glass of wine, turned over the hookah, and the hot coals fell right onto the designer sofa. The fabric caught fire instantly. "Fire! Is this part of the show?" exclaimed Timothée Chalamet, who at first thought it was special effects. But when the fire began to rapidly spread through the furniture, it became clear that this was no joke. Billie Eilish, seeing the chaos, disappeared into the bathroom and locked herself there, shouting that she will not come out until this is all over. Jennifer Lawrence grabbed a bottle of champagne and tried her best to put out the flames, spilling the precious drink on the burning sofa. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, instead of helping, started a stream on Twitter and enthusiastically commented on the situation. "This is what real chaos looks like. Who is for launching this into the metaverse?" Leonardo DiCaprio stood in the corner, a bottle of tequila in his hand, and just watched as his perfect party turned into a scene from a disaster movie. The fire spread quickly, and the guests began to panic. Margot Robbie, who had been carefreely dancing on the table a moment ago, was now screaming. "Damn it, Leo, do you have a plan, or are we all going to burn here?" Leo finally came to his senses, drank a good portion of tequila and, staggering, began to look for a fire extinguisher. The problem was that the house was so designer that it was impossible to find anything practical here. Kendall Jenner, seeing that the situation was becoming critical, rushed to the exit, barefoot jumping over the fragments of broken glasses. Her long dress caught on the door handle, and she simply tore it in anger, flying out into the courtyard half-naked. Jared Leto, who was the main culprit of the chaos, was trying to save his crystals, which he brought for the energy balance of the party. Timothée Chalamet at that moment was running around the house with a wet towel on his head and shouting, "I told you this was a bad idea." Suddenly, DiCaprio's bodyguard appeared in the room, tore off an elite carpet from the wall and simply threw it on the fire, trying to put out the flames. Smoke began to fill the room, and Jennifer Lawrence, gasping, grabbed Timothy's hand. "If we get out of here alive, I promise, I will never go to Leo's party again." But the most striking reaction was Elon Musk. He was still streaming, telling his subscribers, "Well, let's see how quickly the Hollywood elite can evacuate." When the firefighters finally arrived, the situation resembled a scene from the movie The Wolf of Wall Street: an expensive house, broken dishes, people running away in panic, and Leo sitting in the middle of the chaos, watching it all with a bottle in his hand. The next day, all the tabloids wrote about the most scandalous party of the year, and photos of Kendall Jenner barefoot and Musk's stream went viral. And what about Leonardo DiCaprio? He just looked at the ruins of his mansion, sighed and muttered, Maybe I should have just ordered pizza and watched Netflix. The next morning, Leonardo DiCaprio's mansion looked like a hurricane had swept through it. The Versace sofa was charred, glasses were scattered all over the floor, wet towels that Timothée Chalamet had thrown in an attempt to put out the fire, and Elon Musk's mysterious gadget was lying in the middle of the living room, still blinking blue. Leo slowly got up from the couch, the one that was intact, and looked around. His head was pounding from a sleepless night, and the first thing he did was reach for his phone. 50+ missed calls. 200+ social media posts. Top stories of the day: disaster at Leonardo DiCaprio's party. "Oh, shit," he muttered, opening the articles. The first headline: Hollywood on fire, Leonardo DiCaprio's party turns into chaos. Second: barefoot Kendall Jenner, screaming Timothée Chalamet and indifferent Elon Musk, how did a fire become the main show of the year? Memes were already circulating on social networks. Jennifer Lawrence tries to put out a fire with champagne, wastes $500 per second. Timothée Chalamet running with a towel on his head looks like the hero of a disaster movie. Elon Musk leads the stream instead of helping, classic. Leo began to scroll through his messages. Kendall Jenner, I will never come to your parties again. My feet are still scratched. Jared Leto, the couch is just material. But I feel like the energy of the party has been transformed. Margot Robbie, Leo, you owe me a new dress. And I'm serious. Timothée Chalamet, dude. It was hell. Let's do it again. But what struck him most was the message from Martin Scorsese. Leo, I heard about your drama. Call me, I have an idea for a new film. DiCaprio sighed deeply, put down the phone and finally got up from the couch. Damn, maybe we should really make a movie about this? He went to the kitchen, poured himself a cup of coffee and opened his laptop. It was probably the worst party of his life. But, as always, Leonardo DiCaprio knew how to turn a disaster into something legendary. Leo opened his laptop to check once again how serious this media storm was. But as soon as he went to the post office, his eyes widened, letters poured in one after another. Netflix, Leo, we are ready to finance a documentary about this party. Ready to talk numbers. HBO, if you haven't sold the rights yet, we want to make a series. Apple TV+, ready for an exclusive. Give us the script and we'll take this story to the next level. Leo hadn't even recovered from the disaster yet, and Hollywood was already looking to make a movie out of it. God, this is even worse than Oscar Gate, he muttered, rubbing his eyes. At that moment, the door to his mansion opened and Margot Robbie appeared on the doorstep, in oversized sunglasses, a coffee in her hand, and an expression that could be described as, I'm going to kill someone right now. Do you realize I'm going to have to avoid the press for a week because of your goddamn party? She said, throwing the newspaper on the table. Leo glanced at the front page. There was a photo of him sitting in the middle of the chaos with a bottle of tequila, and the headline screamed. Leo's last party? How DiCaprio gave Hollywood a nightmare. Well, I'd say it was a pretty good promo for my upcoming movie, he shrugged. Margot opened her mouth to say something else, but was interrupted by a FaceTime call. Elon Musk appeared on the screen, his expression crazy. Leo, listen. I thought, what if we recreated this party in virtual reality? I'm already testing a prototype. It'll be a metaverse where anyone can experience this night. Leo slowly took off his glasses, looked at Margot, then back at the screen, and sighed. That's it, I'm officially going on vacation. But he already knew, this party would become legendary. And perhaps the best project of his career. Leo dreamed of peace. But peace was the last thing he could afford after that night. The news did not subside. His manager called before noon. Leo, we have a serious problem. Amazon wants to buy the rights to the film, and Netflix is ready to pay more, but now Disney has also intervened. They say this could be their next hit after Pirates of the Caribbean. Disney? Leo took a sip of coffee. What, do they want to make it a fairy tale? They say it will be a comedy catastrophe. Elon Musk has already agreed to be a consultant. Of course he agreed, Leo rubbed his face. But the main blow was waiting ahead. Within a few hours, the tabloids exploded with new leaks. Scandalous video from Leonardo DiCaprio's party got online. Kendall Jenner sued the organizers. Elon Musk is selling NFTs from a disastrous night. Yes, Elon Musk, without wasting any time, has already put up for sale digital copies of the video, where Jared Leto sets a sofa on fire. Timothée Chalamet runs with a towel on his head. Jennifer Lawrence tries to put out a fire with champagne. This is just some kind of surrealism, Leo muttered, flipping through the news. Martin Scorsese soon called. Leo, you already know what to do. This is our new movie. The Last Party in Hollywood. I'm already working on the script. Leo thought for a second. This could either be his biggest failure or the most brilliant decision of his career. He looked out the window, sighed and typed the answer. Okay, Marty. Let's do it. But promise there won't be any hookahs at the premiere. So Leonardo DiCaprio, who simply wanted to celebrate the completion of filming, accidentally created Hollywood's most epic film. And, it seems, another legend.